We're live.
Hi. Hello, everybody. Is anybody there? Oh, I can't see my comments now. They've gone off the screen. Hold on. Hi, everybody. You can see them. Oh, there they are. First of all, I want to say, Sophie, Marie, thank you so much for being here all the time. They're all the regulars. Oh, my God. I love my moderators. They're so amazing. This is my special... Hey, you're supposed to be over here. Okay, I got to get used to the reverse. This is my special guest, David Rams, all the way from Finland. Yeah. David is a sweetheart. I'm going to tell you all about David and how much I love David.
Oh, my goodness.
David is really great because when everybody was attacking me on social media and on YouTube, as they still are, he was one of the first people to be like, let's look a little bit deeper. What is that vegan teacher really about? And when he first wanted to do a live with me, I was like, I don't know if I trust this guy. I don't trust anybody. Everybody's so mean.
That's understandable. You were going through a lot.
Yeah, and you were a total sweetheart. So that's great. I want to make sure I have power on my computer. I'm not used to this. So first time ever doing a live. Am I plugged into power here? Gio, am I plugged in? Yes. Okay. I have a paid staff now.
Yeah.
No. All right. So, David, you recently got banned from being able to do lives.
Yeah.
You want to tell us a little bit about that?
Oh, it's actually quite a boring story, and I don't know if it's to do with veganism or not. I think so. Basically, I did an interview with a very inspirational vegan mountaineer. His name's Kuntal Joysha. If any of you are interested in this guy, he's a vegan. He climbed Mount Everest twice. The highest mountain on Earth twice. He did it once where he was eating a plant-based diet. He did it the second time, fully vegan, everything vegan. So vegan clothing, vegan everything. And he now is, and he has been for a long time, like a vegan. So we're talking on a live stream, and we played a video clip of an avalanche at Everest Base Camp that almost killed him because someone was filming it, and he's in the video, right? So during my live stream, I played that clip because it's, wow, what an incredible clip, and that he survived. And this company, this massive media company, copyright claimed the clip and said, remove it or we'll remove the whole video and we'll take legal action against you. So I said, no, it's we're responding to the clip, we're reacting to the clip. I'm in my rights to do this. So YouTube took the video down and banned me from doing live streams until the issue was resolved. And now I'm in a position where I can't live stream until this situation's resolved. So now this company has to take legal action against me, or if they don't, then the video goes back up, and I'm just waiting. So I appreciate the opportunity to go live with you whilst I'm dealing with this crap, because it's so sad. These massive media companies, they come down hard on small creators, and yeah, and I know from your side, not the media companies necessarily, but the platforms are coming down hard on you, and on other vegans as well. So it feels like, in this case, it's not specifically veganism related that the reason they came after me, but it's because I'm a small creator and they're trying to bully me. But if it's not that, then it's, in other ways, YouTube restricts my vegan content sometimes. It puts an age restriction on my vegan videos sometimes. It's like, God, you just can't win. So they're coming after you at all angles. It's like, if it's not for veganism, it's because you used a clip. If it's not because you used a clip, it's because you're talking about veganism. So it's like, oh my God, can't win sometimes.
Right. It's terrible. Yeah. So do you know about how long it's going to be?
Yeah, it will be another, they've got, I believe, 5 more working days before YouTube will say, if it gets to more than 5 days now, then YouTube will put my video back online and tell them, like, no, so you lose. So if they sue me, then the video stays down, and I have to deal with this crap for another 2 months.
Okay.
But if they sue me, it means I can't live stream for 2 months, basically.
Okay, cool. All right, let's look at some things. Here I have Potato Girl saying, Miss Katie is the vegan queen. I love you so much. And thank you for helping me become the vegan I was meant to be. Thank you, Potato Girl, for saying that. Now, I've seen this person, Potato Girl, help in the comment section a lot. And of course, I never know if these people are spamming me. I don't know who's real and who isn't. And I've told my audience, like, if you're really an ethical vegan and you want to be a moderator, that's great. I wouldn't care if I had like 100 moderators. To me, everybody who is vegan is welcome to write positive comments. I ask that my moderators educate people, tell them that you became vegan, or tell them that you are, helping somebody else right now. You can ask me some questions, but ideally the moderators are basically just putting people in timeout who are mean. And I tell them not to block people because I really want people to be able to come back and give them a second and third chance. But if somebody deliberately spreads a lie, I will block that person. Like if somebody says, like, there's about 8 major lies going on about me right now. Everything from I'm racist, which I'm not. So if somebody says you're racist, like, I'm just going to get rid of that person. Like, just don't be lying. Or that I'm homophobic, you're gone. If you say that my dog is dying, you're gone. Like, if you say that I broke laws, somebody's spreading this rumor that already to like thousands and thousands of people there's 4 million people right now who watched a video that said that I apparently killed somebody. So, like, if you're going to start lying, like, it's no wonder everybody hates me because they've read so much shit, and that Bella, Bella is half dead. I mean, my dog who's vegan, she's fine.
I know, yeah. Do you know the worst part of all this is that, like, this stuff is bad. This stuff is really bad. These rumors are really bad. And you expect non-vegans, a lot of non-vegans who hate vegans, they believe the rumors because they want to believe the rumors. But you know what's really bad is that it seeps into the vegan groups as well, because then they start to, if a lot of people are saying the same thing, it's hard to turn the other way. Like, a lot of people will just believe it because it's like, well, if everyone's saying it, it must be true. And it's really so dangerous that if
and this is what, David, I agree with you. And this is the one thing that I tried as a teacher to teach. I said to my students when I was in the school system, I said, if there's one thing I can teach you, it is critical thinking skills and to not believe what you see or hear or read. The first thing you should do is stay neutral, not to disbelieve it, but stay neutral. Just be like, and allow that pause. So let's say the message is coming at you, right? Message is coming at you. You just kind of like freeze time and you like put it in front of you and you just look at it and try honestly to maintain a neutral face, even like physically maintain neutrality. So don't go like this and don't go like, oh yeah. So
definitely.
I even tried to do that in conversations when I'm with people. Have you ever noticed that in your group of people and like everybody's joking around, okay? So everybody's joking. Everybody's like, yeah. And it's like this whole thing. But then somebody out of the blue says something bizarre and everybody's still like so much in the mood of going, yeah, that they can't snap out of it and they can't actually register. So what I try to do when I'm talking to people, this doesn't always work because I'm not perfect, but I try to maintain a neutral kind of body and disposition because like even you, who I agree with on like pretty much everything, I have no idea. Out of the blue, you might say something that's like, and I'll be like, oh yeah, David, I love this guy, Let me tell you how much I love David. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, wait a second, let me take that back. Wait, what the hell did he just say?
But you totally can, though. They totally can. When I had an interview with James Aspey on my channel, and we had some moments where like this exact thing happened. That we're both vegans, we're both activists, we're both trying to, get the message out. But then, something was said on my side, and all of a sudden James was agreeing, and then all of a sudden his face changed, and he was like, whoa, wait a minute. No, I don't quite agree with that, That's okay, though. Like, we should be ready for that.
That's great.
It's not about just nodding your head like one of those nodding dogs or shaking it. Yeah.
What was it? I'm curious. Listen, what was it exactly?
What was it that he disagreed with me on? It was about the Liberation Pledge. That was what we disagreed on. We had a big disagreement about the Liberation Pledge.
So let's talk about that. But let me just acknowledge this person. Somebody's asking me, Miss Katie, why are you vegan? Just a question. So let me just quickly ask, and then you will I always point the wrong way because you're just anyway. Yeah, you're going to tell everybody what the Liberation Pledge was and what James Aspey said and who James Aspey is and so on. Just give me 1 sec to answer this person, okay? So Sarah Rodriguez, hi. First of all, nice to meet you, whoever you are. Now, I don't know if you're 10 years old or if you're 80 years old. So bear this in mind, everybody. When you ask me a question, and this used to happen on TikTok a lot, people would ask me a question, and sometimes I would just be talking to people, and I realized I was talking to adults for quite a while. So I maintained this sort of adult attitude. And then sometimes I would talk like totally over these kids' head and not know. And then other times I'd be talking to kids and then realize, wait, now I'm talking to an adult. So it's hard to explain things in a way that's not boring for adults or boring for kids all at once. Because in the school system, we look into the eyes of our students. We know if they're yawning and they're not paying attention, then we got to jazz it up. Or we know if we're too much in their face, we got to like chill and talk slower and be more zen. So as I answered all these questions and talk to you, bear in mind that I'm doing my best, given that I don't know who you are and what kind of language I should use with you. So why have I...
Before you go into it, one quick little thing. Just want to let you know, somebody made a super chat. Bev Llewellyn. I don't know if you can see it because I know you're not used to this platform, but I can read it for you. Just so she sent you a £5 contribution to the stream.
What's it? What is it? Where is this?
It's green. It's bright green. If you go through the chat,
up there. It's something's at the top.
It says if you scroll, you'll see it. I just don't want you to miss it because she
I don't.
Really nice,
but can I click on it or?
Yes,
here's something.
Yeah.
You keep on being you, kid. From a teacher who is vegan to a vegan teacher. Oh yeah. From a teacher to a teacher. Oh yeah. Exactly. Keeping you. Thank you so much, sweetheart. Whoever you are.
It's
Maybe
Bev.
you're Bev.
Bev. Yeah. Teacher. That's
Bev.
awesome, right?
That's
I just didn't
so
want to
sweet.
miss it.
Thank you, David. See, David is helping me. This is my first, I did this actually before I went onto TikTok, and I had so many problems. That's why I was so nervous to do lives, because just technical problems. I'd be talking and things would freeze and the mic didn't work and there was echoes and it was just so embarrassing. So that's why I was really hesitant. But to answer this person's question, and then we're going to go back to David, who's going to talk about the pledge. I can't believe I just did that. Usually I'm so ADD that I forget the order of things, but I'm remembering. Okay.
Impressed.
So yeah, why I became vegan? I became vegan because basically I was vegetarian for a long time. And then somebody pointed out that I was basically a fraud, that I'm full of shit. Somebody was, basically put it in my face. And then I changed. Because before that, when I was vegetarian, I was happily walking along in my life thinking I was so good and I was helping save all these animals. And a lot of people did before that say, oh, that's great that you're vegetarian. And, I knew a little bit about this vegan thing, but it didn't hit my head and my heart. These 100 clicks have to come. And what worked for me was the wake-up call, was basically Gary Yourofsky's speech and somebody who just blew me over with the truth. And this is why I'm pretty firm in the way that I communicate, because I don't believe in saying, well, that's great that you're vegetarian. Why don't you keep doing that for another 10 years? And then maybe eventually you'll get around to being vegan. Because I don't believe that. It's just like, and here's how I explain it to everybody. Okay, look, I have a very narrow end here. Okay, so here's a vegan. Okay, and it's all backwards. Okay, here's a vegan. Here's a vegan, and here's a meat eater. Okay, now you might think that a vegetarian is really close to a vegan, but it's not. A vegetarian is way over here with a meat eater. Like, you're just basically, you suck, because what you're doing is you're ending up eating twice as many eggs, twice as much cheese. And I know because I did it. We would order a pizza or make pizza. We're like, oh, we're so good. We're vegetarian. We're not putting any animals on there. Double, triple the cheese, because you want the fat and you want the salt and you want that. Then I learned. Then I changed. And I thought at first, oh my God, and I remember thinking this, and this is embarrassing, but I remember thinking, okay, if this doesn't work for me, if I'm going to half die, then what I'm going to have to do is I'll maybe eat a bit of fish once in a while if it doesn't work. And anyway, so I'm vegan because it's the right thing to do. What about you, David? Why are you vegan? Oh, I just apparently have a donation from...
You have two. You have two. You have I can read this. We have one from Konstantin Malayov.
This person,
cool,
Konstantin, I finally get to talk to you live. Oh my God, this person's so nice. I don't even know if this person's male or female or how old. You probably told me.
Well,
okay. Oh my God, whatever. Thank you so much. Whoever you are, wherever you are in the world, this person helps me as a moderator so often.
Well,
and
thank you. I can read the message. Thank you for making me vegan. By the way, it's pronounced Konstantin Malayov. He told us.
I made you vegan? Oh my God, that is so amazing. Shoot. Thank you so much for telling me, because sometimes I feel like I'm doing, when I see the Gordon Ramsay of the world and this guy, Ethan Trace on TikTok, these terrible people who promote killing animals even more because I'm there. I've literally gone to my bed and put my covers over my head and cried my eyes out because I thought, oh my God, I'm making the world worse. Like more people are becoming are eating more dead animals. It's terrible.
No,
but then, you know, when I get this feedback, it's like, okay, and there's something else.
You've got more. You've got one from Inda Kills who says, "Hey, that vegan teacher. I love that you're spreading awareness about veganism. Stay strong and eat your vegetables. Lol. By the way, I'm 13 and vegan."
Where did you get the money? Oh my God! Tell your parents.
13 and vegan.
Oh my
Amazing.
God. Yes, thank
I always
you.
love to hear about like a really young vegan who's like stood up and done something that's right. 13.
That's
you're 13
amazing.
and you're doing something so incredible. Like you should be really proud of yourself to be so young but so switched on. I wish I was so smart and switched on at 13. Like I really do. I was an idiot. I was a total idiot at 13. Oh my God, I wish I was just, like, you know, this clued up at 13. Seriously.
Oh, I know, it's okay. Listen, I'm just give me a second, and I'm still not forgetting about James Aspie and the pledge. But I'm just trying to see, how do I make this person a mod, this potato girl, and how do I make...
You can't do it inside StreamYard, you have to do it on YouTube. You have to go to YouTube.
Okay, so So potato girl, now that I know that you're a sweetheart, I'm taking notes, by the way. That's why I have this booklet, because I'm always like, so potato girl, potato girl, make mod. Okay, thank you so much. And who else did we get? Somebody, here's another red thing.
There's a super sticker. That means they didn't put text on it. They just put like an emoji or something, but you can't see it in StreamYard. You can see it on YouTube. But that was by Lollipop Kitties. It's a good name.
Oh, thank you guys so much. Okay, now let's keep talking to David.
All right.
About the Liberation Pledge and James Aspie. And for those of you just joining us, I am That Vegan Teacher. I'm here in Canada. And David is right now in Finland. And we are two vegan animal rights activists who have connected online. We've never met in real life. And we admire one another's work. And I want to promote his work. And he's been promoting mine. And, you know, I had 1.7 million followers. I lost them all because I got banned from the app. And I have more followers here on YouTube than he does. So it doesn't matter. The main message here is we should always support each other, because at any time, any of our accounts can come down. Exactly. And we have to be there to support each other. I've always supported everybody on TikTok. I've always duetted others. I have a hashtag that says vegans supporting vegans. Use it. Support each other. Always. Go ahead, David.
Which one? Do you want me to say why I'm vegan? I think because the question's still up. Do you want me to answer the question?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah, I'm a vegan. Oh God, it's such a big question, isn't it? But when it comes to you feel like you have the answer to go. But it's very rare that people actually ask you why you're a vegan anymore. I feel like I have to constantly answer the questions why to be vegan. But why am I a vegan? Well, I don't believe that any other animal deserves to be used in any way, or killed or killed for me to live my best life, right? So my best life, meaning that the life that makes me the most happy, the life that makes me the most healthy, I don't believe other animals should suffer for that, or even be used or abused or killed or anything for that. And that's ultimately what drives me daily to be vegan forever, basically. And then drives me to make decisions like that. Being vegan is just the beginning. This is the mentality that drives me to constantly strive to do more and more and more and do as much as I possibly can to make sure that I'm not doing this to animals. Because as
David, I like what you said. And that vegan couple came to Montreal a few years ago, and I heard them talk. And their saying was vegan on their shirts. Vegan, it's the least I can do. And what I say is, being a vegan animal rights activist is the least you can do. It is not good enough just to be vegan, because that's like not harming. It's like just not being racist, but or not being homophobic. It's not good enough. When you see other cruel acts going on around you, you must speak out.
Yeah.
It is your duty to say something and to help those who have no voice, or who are suffering, who are being picked on, or whatever. That's what I think. What do you think? You seem to think the same.
It's I mean, I think the absolute, for me, I hold the baseline at being vegan. I hold the baseline at being vegan because then at the same time, I would say I have been told by other people in other movements that the same as this, like, it's not enough to just not be racist or to just not be sexist, you also have to be actively protesting and activist.
Well, let's define what that means, right? What is actively protesting? It doesn't mean that every day you have to be out in the freezing cold in Canada in January with a sign for 3 hours outside of Canada Goose, but it means that if you see things in your perimeter and the liberation, but this actually is a good segue into the Liberation Pledge.
That's what I was going to get to. Is that if of course if you see something and you turn away from it, and it's something that is like it's within your reach to do something about it, it's there, and you chose to ignore it, like in your in your family, your friends, you're at work or whatever, then that's not good. Obviously it's not good. It is good that you're not contributing to it, but of course it would be better if you went an extra step and actually said, did something about it, right? When you see it. And when it comes to veganism, that's practice every single day, isn't it? Obviously, this isn't, when it comes to veganism, this isn't just like chances are today you're not going to see any animal abuse. It's like, no, you're going to see the products of it on a daily basis, right? This is the point. And if you were in a position where you saw racism on a daily basis, then you would also say something, wouldn't you? You would do something. If your friend group or your family was being racist every day, you would speak up about it. Well, if your family and friend group are paying for animal abuse every day, well, why are you not going to speak up about that? Why are you not going to do something? So yeah, in that sense, it is necessary for us to be active to help the animals, for sure. But at the same time, I understand that for some people who have just gone vegan, maybe this is a bit of a tough pill to swallow, and let's progress together, and
not scare them off, not scare them off too much.
Not scare them away, not scare them away. And then,
all right.
I see you've got a donation.
Yes, thank you, DJ Cat. Thank you so much. He loves the show. This person, he, she, they, them, loving the show and recent content from you both. Really enjoying watching your marathon training progress, David.
Yeah, I'm putting it all on Strava, like an app, like monitoring what I'm doing, so people can check it out if they're interested in marathon training.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is not like marathon watching videos of that vegan teacher. This is actual running marathon.
Oh, this is actual running. Yeah. So
okay, because for those of you who don't know, there's David. David watched 10 hours of my TikTok videos nonstop, yawning most of the time, but
it's 10 hours. Come on, 10 hours.
I don't know how you did.
Will make you yawn.
I tuned in for a while, and after like half an hour of me, I just couldn't. Okay. I'm just getting a note here from my assistant that DJ Cat is a patron. Thank you for being a patron. If anybody is a patron, I am just blown away that anybody is being so kind to donate $3 a month or $25 a month to help me, because the truth is that when I quit my full-time teaching job, it's true, I'm not paying my way around here. So, when you give me $3 a month, I put mental images to people. So if somebody is giving me $3 a month, I put a mental image of, let's say, blueberries to them. So every time I eat a $3 container of blueberries, I'm like, oh, thanks to DJ Cat for that. Or if somebody, whatever it is, if you give me $25 a month, I'm like, oh, this is so great. I'm going to put it towards my new computer that I just bought, so it's so appreciated. I don't ever want anybody to think that I'm not thinking about you, even though I don't have time to contact everybody because I'm just so overwhelmed. I'm trying to, wiggle my way back into TikTok. They're trying to they constantly kick me off the app, but I like it, and I think it's a good thing to use. And so let's talk about James Aspie. What happened in your conversation with him? So you interviewed James Aspie.
Yes.
And you had a little bit of not a headbutting, but a time where you kind of paused.
We just disagreed. We just disagreed on a topic. And it was okay. He had a good point. So basically, we talked about the Liberation Pledge. What the Liberation Pledge is it's a pledge that you take that says that you pledge that you will not sit at the same table and eat and dine if there are dead animals also being eaten at that table. Right. Just the same as you wouldn't sit at a table if someone was eating a dead dog, which most people, vegan or not, would agree. Most people in the West anyway would say, no, I would never do that, right? Well, you take that same attitude and apply it to all dead animals, because you know what? A dog or a cow or a pig doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter. If you sit there and eat with them, but you wouldn't eat with the dog, well, that's hypocrisy from you. If you're a vegan and you do that, it's hypocritical, right? So I said it's hypocritical, and I think it's very powerful when we refuse to sit there. We refuse to do it. We don't have to do it in that exact moment. Like, it's not like you sit down and then someone sits next to you and you're like, I'm not going to sit here anymore because I'm a vegan. It's not like that. You give people a heads up. You give them you call up ahead, you tell them like, look, I want to come and sit with you. Like if it's your mum and dad, I want to come have a meal with you. But I'm not comfortable with dead bodies at the table. It's not comfortable. I don't agree with it. And I don't want to be faced with that when I'm trying to enjoy your company. I'm trying to enjoy my time with you. I don't feel good right now. I feel horrible because there's a dead body at the table, right?
And I can't concentrate. I can't see past it. I've seen that. Like, that's how I feel. I just was at the grocery store yesterday and I filmed a video for YouTube. And, you know, my intention was to, you know, here's vegan food. Here's buy this milk. Don't buy that milk. And, you know, when I got to the meat section, I just tensed up. I mean, I made it through the video, but I was looking at this lamb leg and these chicken hearts. And I have seen so many, I don't know if it's 1,000 hours. I mean, I'm constantly watching the footage. It pops up on Instagram. You must see it too. You know, you get a flash of it. And it's so traumatizing because we've seen so much death.
Yeah,
I mean, so yeah, if you're eating at a table with people now, it's really hard. Even when I go and walk my dog with a group of people and I see somebody wearing a Canada Goose coat with the fur around it, and they're just like, hi, how are you? You know, nice to meet you. I'm just like, oh my God, you're wearing a dead dog. Like, oh my God, that poor coyote had its paw stuck, and there's probably babies right now who don't have their mother. And I just like have all this stuff. It's really hard to live as a vegan because of dystopia.
And it's powerful when you protest.
Thank you, by the way, to Indie Kills. Thank you so much for the donation. I just appreciate that so much.
You've got a lot.
You guys are just so sweet. Yeah, so go ahead, David.
But yeah, when you do that, it's a form of protest when you say, like, you know, when you say this, it's a disruptive protest when you say, I will not come and sit with you. That was my argument, and that's what I believe. James Aspey is another activist, and he actually said he disagrees because for him personally, he is very confident in his ability to change people's minds and change people's hearts and to stay calm and not to lose his shit. So he believes that he is much better being at the table than not being at the table. That's what he stands for himself. Now, I agreed with him in that that's him, right? And he really is confident in himself that he can keep his cool and he can connect and all that stuff fine. But 99% of people can't, right? 99% of vegans can't keep their cool at a dinner table like that.
Yeah.
They're going to get into a fight. They don't know how to connect with somebody over dinner. Because think about it, right? This person's shoving animal flesh into their mouth and you're going to tell them they shouldn't do that. It's never going to end well. Well, it's mostly not going to end well. For me, I can't do that. I can't get into that. It won't work. I've tried it. It's failure. So my better, more effective way is to say, I won't come unless you guys are gonna eat vegan for this one meal, and then it works, right? James does it his way, you know.
Yeah, it's really interesting, that the whole thing, because what I used to do is I did a lot of activism in my neighborhood. I have this fence on the side of my house, and I put up all these posters and you know, a wood board that I painted, and it's all this, you know, plastified things about, you know, why eat one animal, not the other, all this colorful stuff. And it's good in a way, because I think everybody should do activism in their neighborhood. I know people are going to say, oh, I don't want the vandalism and all that, but you know, we have a responsibility in our small little corner to put a little sign on our car, on our bike, on our house that says this is a vegan home. Because if people are walking by and they feel like they have no other vegans around, they know this is a happy place. This is where I can find a friend here. After COVID, we can have potlucks together. So I think it's really important. I also used to do chalking in my neighborhood. Now, the problem is, that it's great. The only problem is I live in suburbia here, and a lot of people just were like, you know, just trying to, you know how they are. Oh my God, I don't want my kid to read that, you know, milk comes from a dead baby cow. You know, they're trying to you know, rub it out. So what I feel really now is that, yes, it's important to talk to your family and your friends, but it takes 100 clicks. You cannot think that you yourself have so much power to change one person. I just think it's so unlikely. See, even these people here who say, thank you, Miss Katie, for making me vegan. I say thank you to them for saying that, but I don't actually believe that I take all the credit. I really don't. Because unless they just happen to come to my site and they happen to just only focus on 100 of my videos and really get it. But it's rare that happens, because what happened is they came to my TikTok, most of these people, and then guess what? They read the comment section, and they read your comment, and they read somebody else's comment, and then they went to your site, and they went somewhere else, and then they came back to mine. And so, you know, it's like, that's why we have to support each other.
Definitely,
because it's just, we can't, if we're just one person on TikTok, doing our thing, and in the comment section is 10,000 people with meat emojis, you're like constantly like trying to breathe, right? You're just like drowning in the negativity. So we have to support each other. And so I think that just to finish, so what I think is that what we have to do is, oh shoot, I'm trying to click on something. Oh, I just made a mistake. Somebody gave a donation. I'm so sorry. Oh, here's this one. Did I do that one already? No, I already did this one. I already did that one. Thank you so much. I'm sorry, my assistant here is trying to help me.
No, they disappear after a while, unfortunately.
I'm sorry, but thank you.
There's another one from Paradigm Shift Music. That's the one you missed. It says, it just says, it was thanks to James Aspie exposing me to the Liberation Pledge that I found my voice with animal rights activism. I'm so inspired by you both. Thank you. That's that one.
Is this one? Oh, not this one. Okay, after that. It came after. Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. I don't know how to scroll this thing. Oh, William Robinson's here. Hi, William. Thank you so much for being here. So, yeah, what I just want to say, I'm so sorry, whoever just donated money. I feel so bad that I can't acknowledge you. Please look into my eyes and know that I love you and I thank you. I'm just terrible with these buttons, and I'm trying to multitask here. I'm just hopeless. And trying to keep a straight talk here. Okay, so what I was saying is, so what I think, though, is if you're on social media, like all the time in your spare time, you can kind of like chill out a bit with your family and your neighbors. Now, don't get me wrong. You still have to be an animal rights activist. You still have to, lay the boundaries. But you don't have to feel like you have to like change them. At some point, you got to wait for somebody else to change them. So, for example, I would rely, let's say, if David was in my neighborhood, I would sort of say, okay, I've done my job with, let's say, I have certain family members who are still not vegan. I have many who are, but, I would just say, okay, I'm not going to keep going on that person. I'm going to leave that person, and I'm going to let the Davids and the other people of the world take over. That's the best you can do. Otherwise, you're fighting all the time and you're constantly miserable. So
this is it. You've got two things that I want to comment on. The first one is like, family members. The thing with family members is that they can make or break you. Like, this is the thing. A lot of people think like, oh, it's so scary to go and talk to the public about veganism. Let me just talk to my family and friends. No, it should be the other way around. Your family and friends should terrify you, because I'm sorry, if they're closed-minded, they can hurt you so much more than a stranger on the internet can.
Yeah, definitely.
If your mum shouts at you and says, I don't care about the animals, that's going to hurt a lot more than some idiot troll. Okay, trust me. So if anything,
Absolutely.
If your family and friends are closed-minded, maybe take a step back, take a breather, and look at other people. And I just want to touch on something else you said. You said that people go on your content, they see your content, and they fly to someone else's content. And the main feedback that you get, and actually that I get as well, a lot of people tell us that we should be like someone else. They say, oh, you're so aggressive, why don't you try being like this person? Or you're too this, why don't you try being like that? Like, they usually refer to Earthling Ed. Like, why are you not calm like Earthling Ed? Right? Earthling Ed does great work, but don't get me wrong, but why are you not like him anyway? Or Joey's better. Joey does it better than you. Or you and Joey are too aggressive. You should be more like these people, or whatever it is. What they don't realize is, right? What they don't realize is that somebody goes and watches an Ed video, and then they're like, meh, I'm not really convinced. And then they watch a vegan teacher video, and then they're like, whoa, this was like crazy. This is like singing and then like swearing and like, oh my god, what's going on? And they go, okay, that was interesting. And they go and find a Joey video. I'm like, oh, this guy's really angry. And they find my video, and they're like, he's just called non-vegans a piece of shit. And then they're like, then they'll maybe find one more person's video, and that could be the person that just gets them. Like,
that resonates.
This is how I want to be spoken to, right? But they don't realize that all of those other people who they didn't quite click with, they all added something. And then they find the person they click with, they can maybe complain about all these other people. Like, oh, I saw this David Rams and he was like really aggressive. Or that vegan teacher was like, oh my God, she seems like really, really strong and like, or whatever. But you're great. And it's like, who gives a shit what they say? Now they're listening. The important thing is they're listening to this person now. And it all counts. And let me tell you a quick story before we go on. I had this story. Someone had told me that they met a really pushy extreme vegan, right? 3 years ago, and it took them after that. It was like 3 years before they actually went vegan. Eventually, because they educated themselves and met some different vegans and stuff like that. And they were claiming that it was because of that vegan that it took them so long. And I was like, no. It's not at all. That vegan planted a seed 3 years ago in you that pissed you off. You hated them. And it took you 3 years to acknowledge the seed and acknowledge that they were right. That's what happened. It wasn't their fault that it took you 3 years. I don't believe that for a second. I believe that angry vegan made you feel guilty, and you've been trying to deny it for 3 years. That's what's happened, right? And so yeah, it's all my point is all of these different types of language and all these different things, it's all needed, as long as the core message is solid, and as long as you're not contributing to someone else's oppression whilst trying to get your message out, like as long as you're not stepping on people and stuff like that, then then I think you can be as aggressive as you want. And I think it's needed sometimes to be aggressive and direct. I think it's necessary. We can't all be calm and smiling and, you know, perfectly well spoken like Earthling Ed. I think we need lots of different types of people doing lots of different types of things, right? Different activism.
Yeah, I think so. And well, I'm not going to say anything bad about Earthling Ed right now.
I wanted to get into that a little bit with you, just to kind of quickly though, like just as a heads up. I don't think he writes his own videos, and I don't think he's really in much of control of the scripts and how things are going. I think to a large, he's got a really good team of video editors, and I'm sure there's someone doing scripting for him. And I think at this point they're just like putting the scripts together, and I think he's like, let's just do it, like pumping it out. So I know what he did, and I know what he said in that video, but I wouldn't put too much emphasis on it. I'd more think about who wrote it, and I don't think he wrote it. It doesn't sound like him. You know, I just didn't see him writing something like that. It just didn't seem to make much sense. The whole concept of the video didn't seem like him. Yeah,
except it did come out of his mouth. So, but anyway.
Totally. So
Earthling, for people who are just joining, who are just joining, I'm here in Canada. I am a 56-year-old grandmother. My name is Miss Katie. I'm a teacher. I worked as a registered nurse for 25 years. Then I became a teacher for 9 years. And now I'm doing full-time vegan animal rights activism here on social media. And my guest today is David Rams, who is half my age almost. How old are you again? 30, 31, 32?
31, yeah.
31. Yeah. Okay, 31. And so, that's the same age as my daughter. My daughter had a baby, and so it's really cool. And you are in Finland right now.
I'm in Finland.
Like, how do you end up in Finland with a British accent? I'm just curious.
I'm actually I'm from England. I'm living here right now with my partner and my partner's family, because we are in we're in this middle ground where we just kind of like trying to figure out what we do next, because it's like, the whole situation. You don't say the C word. Don't say it. YouTube will demonetize the video if you say it.
Oh,
yeah. You can say the pandemic is okay, but the C word you can't say it. Yeah,
why?
Just warning you.
It's so weird.
Because they will demonetize it, because advertisers don't want to put advertisements on videos about the C word.
Okay, well, we just lost demonetization.
I think I talked over it. I think we're safe. I caught it. Yeah, I caught it.
But look, my little mice, these are my house mice. You can't see them, but they're both named and So it's COVID.
Oh.
I named my mice because I wanted, how I feel about language. You know how I feel about words. And if you have a word that causes you stress, like that word, why not try to, make it so that this doesn't cause you stress? And everybody knows that the COVID word makes everybody so stressful. It's a terrible word. So I thought to myself, you know what? Actually, the actual sound of it is a lot like David. And David is not a bad name. So I just thought, you know what? I'm going to name my little mouse, my little house mouse that I caught in this trap. This humane trap, that word, which rhymes with David, and then we just caught another one just a few days ago, and we put them together, and they seemed like they were old friends. Like they were like, oh my God, where have you been for the last 6 weeks? It's the cutest thing, and. So I just want to show people. I've showed this already before. Have you seen one of these before, David?
Yeah, I've used them before.
Yeah. So basically, just for people who are just new, if you have a mouse in your house, don't kill your mouse. You can use this trap here. So you buy this, and you put some peanut butter here. You see, we have a blob of peanut butter. We'll just put that there in case there's a third one. We're going to release these guys. We're going to release these guys here in very soon. Soon as the snow's all gone, and. So the mouse walks in here, doo, 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 and then this thing goes down, bloop, and then the mouse goes here and has a big pig out of peanut butter and is all happy. And then they try to leave and they're like, hey, wait a second, I can't get out. And then the human comes and the human goes, oh, look who I found. You're so cute. And then the human goes like this very gently, doesn't scare them, and releases them into a bigger place. Now, my friend gave me this here little cage, and I put it there in case because one of them, okay, the first one I caught had no idea how to use the wheel. Yeah. Just never used the wheel. The second, but listen, the second we put the other one in there, the other one was in it, and it was like, and the first one's like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, what are you doing? Like, you know, and then it's so funny because they're so different, which makes you realize how animals are. Yeah. They all have their own brain and their own preferences. Their personalities. They are people. Animals are people. They're just different.
Maybe one of those mice, maybe one of them was like in a past life, they were like, you know, bought at a pet shop or something horrible, and then now they're like, you know, reliving that past life, but in this case they get to go back out and be free again after they've been in there for some time.
Yeah,
so you're keeping them in because they're cold, right? You're keeping them in because it's cold out.
Well, it's like, you know, winter. I mean, there was snow everywhere. I couldn't just catch them and put them out. I would be, you know, murdering them. So, but they don't just live in this thing. They have actually a bigger container, which I've showed some videos already here on YouTube. And I put, you know, all these branches and things and give them a little bit of a different place to live. So, so what else do you want to talk about, David? Is there anything else that you want to talk about with regard to your activism? Oh, I know what I want to tell everybody about. Everybody has to see David's video. David did a really cool video where he talks about, well, you tell them the one where you're interviewing. Is that a friend of yours from India or something? And
which one are we talking about?
Where you were just like, you know, he's like giving all these people give all these excuses about why they can't be vegan and the whole intersectionality of it and everything. Like,
but what was the? I've done a lot of videos about that.
Oh my god! Well, you know what? Talk about the video that you're most interested or happy about or proud of that you've done recently.
Oh, I think recently I did 2 videos that are pretty like on the nose. I think that's what I'm trying to do now. Like more like on the nose. Like I'm trying to like literally hit where it's like bam, like straight here, and stop dancing around the topic, right? So there's this viral video.
One second, I just have to address this instantly. Okay, this is bullshit. This is total bullshit. This person who keeps writing this. Why would I do that?
Yeah,
first of all, I'm a 56-year-old woman from Canada. I'm not threatening anybody. What I said is I don't like this guy. I'm not exactly sure of my words, but it was something like, you know, the quicker he chokes on a chicken bone, the better. That's not a death threat.
No. There was a your YouTube community tab did you write those things? Because they were like that's what they're referring to.
There's no death threat in there. Where's the death threat? You show me.
You said you hope he dies in his sleep soon.
Yeah, that's not a death threat. Let me tell you. Let me ask you this, okay?
He did a massive shit. And it reminded you of him.
I looked down at my shit in my toilet and I flushed and it reminded me of him. That's not a death threat. That's me telling the truth. I literally took a dump, looked down the toilet, and I thought, oh, that reminds me of
I thought you've been hacked. I literally thought you've been hacked. I messaged you like, have you been hacked? Is this real? I couldn't believe it. I was like, what the fuck?
No, because I honestly believe that. If I look down in my toilet and I see a piece of shit, it reminds me of a lot of people. It reminds me of Ethan Trace. It reminds me of Gordon Ramsay. It reminds me of Joe Roby, John Robert Bell. There's a lot of people. And the truth of the matter is, if Hitler was alive right now, okay? If Hitler was alive right now, who is basically telling people to murder these Jews and keeping them in concentration camps. Raise your hand if you would like Hitler to die in his sleep. Well, David, your hand's not up.
I wouldn't want him to die in his sleep. I want him to die a pretty painful death. That dying in his sleep's too easy.
So this person is saying that I supposedly threatened, or that's not a death threat. I'm not even going to say it because people are going to take the whatever comes out of my mouth. They're going to put a little clip and they're going to, like, they always do that anyway. Okay. Yeah. So quit the bullshit. All right. Here's you guys with all of your lies. Okay. I'm not threatening anybody's life. End of story. Sorry, I cut you off. Go ahead.
It's all right. It's all right. I'm glad we talked about that because I wanted to.
Vegans eat grass. Vegans eat grass. Funny. No, we don't eat grass, but close. We eat spinach. I think maybe you do too.
Tell me which video. Describe the video you're talking about from my channel.
Oh God, no! You know what? Now you're putting me on the spot because there was so many of them. But there was the one where you played all these characters. And you were like,
yeah. I've got it. Yeah, got it. So I did a video. It's called SJW versus Logic 2021.
Yeah. So SJW, Social Justice
Warrior. Which some people would argue that that's what we are, but like
I say that. I say that's why I hate when people do that. People should put that in quotations if you're referring to somebody. I'm a proud SJW. I'm a social justice warrior. That's what I am.
I think it's developed now. The word is acronym has developed into something that represents something that is not that anymore.
That's negative, because it used to be in quotes, and then people started like just doing mini quotes, and then they went down here, and then they forgot about the quotes completely. But you need the quotes.
True.
Anyway.
Well, anyway, the video's about these the most common arguments that we get from these people who would, I don't know, you call them the woke people. I'm sure everybody in the chat knows who I'm talking about. The ones that they see racism everywhere, literally everywhere, even where it isn't, and they see sexism where it isn't, and they see everything is harmful. Everything you do or say, and if you're a white man and you breathe, then you've harmed someone. Now, this is kind of the logic that they use. And
but even the word woke, I would argue, but even the word woke, woke means woken up. You've woken up. And
it doesn't, not anymore.
We have woken up. I know, now it's all backwards, right?
Yeah,
so it's the same. I'm going to make my point again. It's the same with the N-word. The N-word does not mean the same thing to everybody. Literally, black people call each other that. They allow their white friends to call them that. White people call black people that. It's just, it just happens. So it's just like words change. The word wicked, the word wicked used to mean bad. And when my kids were teenagers, they're like, oh, wicked, I love your new bike. Like, what? Wicked? Like, what? So words change and evolve. Deal with it. I'm going to deal with it.
Well, these words have changed and they have evolved and they've become this. And basically, the video is basically me. I'm playing myself, and I'm also playing another character, and I'm having an argument with myself, and this other person is there's a lot of excuses we hear as vegans that come from this type of crowd, where they talk about things like veganism is colonialism, veganism is white supremacist, veganism is for only the elite and the privileged, and if you are a vegan and you're telling people to be vegan, then it's because you are rich and privileged, and you shouldn't tell people to be vegan because they can't go vegan because they're so poor and stupid. And they don't say stupid, right? But that's basically what they're saying. They're saying like these other people, they're too uneducated and poor to go vegan. Do you not know that? So it's like really, really like that's bigotry to say someone is, from another country, or someone who is less educated can't go vegan because they won't understand what it means. So in the video, I call that out. And I also have help from a good friend. His name is Aditya. On YouTube, he goes as the Soytheist, and he comes in as an indigenous Indian vegan, which is like pretty in the world of identity politics, where your identity means you are something. He's a pretty powerful, got a pretty powerful identity, and he basically talks about how he's an indigenous vegan and why he's an indigenous vegan, and then basically counteracts and debunks all these stupid arguments. And me, I don't subscribe to the idea that your skin tone or ethnicity means your point is more or less important, but a lot of people do, and that's why I made this video, to show that like even if you believe that is important for a message,
right,
there are vegans out there who are not white, are not rich, are not male, are not straight. There are vegans out there of practically every single demographic on Earth, right?
Yeah.
So even if you believe in the identity politics nonsense, well, we've got vegans in every identity. So it doesn't make a difference, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree with that completely.
That's the point of the video.
One of the things that people do, there's this whole thing that there's like white veganism now, apparently, which means you're, I don't know, like because your skin's white, you're a snobby, and you're like one of these people who.
It's more than that. It's more than that. Let me explain what it is, right? So for those that don't know, and maybe some vegans haven't heard of this, this is a pre-warning for you. This is like your education now, so that when someone says this, you know what it is, and you can tell them your answer and tell them to basically fuck off. So basically, white veganism, what they're claiming it is that it's a type of veganism that apparently only focuses on like being healthy and thin and white and attractive, and everything's all the expensive food and all the expensive recipes, and it doesn't acknowledge that there are other people of other ethnicities that are vegan, and other countries where there are a lot of people who've been living vegan for a long time, but they don't call it vegan and things like that. They believe that this is what white veganism is. Now, like, in reality, do these kind of people exist? The people who just like are all about the status, plant-based lifestyle kind of influencer. They just want to show the recipes, expensive food and that kind of stuff, and then be super fit with a six-pack and shit. Yeah, these people exist. Is it fair to say that they are white vegans? No, because it's nothing to do with them being white. It's to do with them being maybe a bit arrogant, maybe a bit of a show-off. For sure, okay, then fine. But it's got nothing to do with their skin tone. If they happen to be more often white, then so be it. But I'm sure that I know of black vegans who do the exact same thing, who show off the six-pack and show like veganism as this health movement. So it's not like veganism,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And when people call me racist, I literally had 2 YouTubers with dark skin who did videos in favor of me, promoting me, saying, "Look, she's not racist." Like, so it's and then people say like, "You're against the whole LGBTQ community," where I've never done anything. This lie started because I said that coming out of the closet as a vegan animal rights activist is difficult, because parents do kick their kids out of the house, or parents force their teenagers to sit at a table, and dads smack their kids in the head if they refuse to eat their meat. Like, this is child abuse, and it is not easy to come out of the closet as a vegan animal rights activist. I believe you're born vegan. We are all born vegan. And people say, well, you drink your mother's milk, so that's not vegan. Well, yes, it's vegan, because you're not stealing it from somebody else, from another species. So there's a lot of strange things going on in the world like that for us. Well,
they were saying,
but your video was great. I just loved it. It was just so spot on. You guys should all watch it. Do you remember the title of it, so we can send people there?
It's you can put the link in the chat maybe if you want.
Sure.
I just posted up in there. 1 second, I'll grab it now. But this was just trying to kind of playing a character and going after a lot of the main BS arguments we get. So I put it in the private chat in here. It's up there now, and you can just copy it and paste it into the comments there. I can't do it myself.
Into the private chat. Where's the private
at the
chat?
top right of your screen, you've got comments, and then on the left you've got private chat. You see it?
I don't see anything on the left that says private chat on my view. On the right, okay.
On the right,
yes, private. Oh yeah, there's a private chat.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
And then you can just copy that and you can paste
Chat
it back
privately with your guest. Well, I'm not going to do that right now. I'm going to copy it. Copy. I don't know if I just copied the link or copy. I'm going to try.
Yeah.
So go back to comments. I'm going to try and put it here. Command V. Enter.
There you go.
Did it work?
Pow. So there it is.
Is that good enough? Did it show up?
It
didn't.
It's there. Yeah. It did. Yeah, it did, and it's still there. It's all good. It's there.
Okay.
But wait. the thing with I wanted to talk to you about that actually, the LGBT thing. The thing that people kept saying to me that they were upset about the LGBT thing that you mentioned was that apparently you'd said that it was not as special, or it was more selfish to be to come out as LGBT versus vegan. That was the thing that most people reached out to me and they were like, oh, this is
it was
really
the word.
offensive.
It was because it was a TikTok video and it's 60 seconds long, and I used the word selfish. It is selfish, but I didn't mean it in a negative way. It's like I meant it like it's something that's selfish. It's not meaning that you're a selfish person. It's just that it is an act that you do for yourself. When you come out as when I came out of the closet as bisexual, I didn't do that for some guy who lives in Finland. I didn't do it for my next door neighbor. I did it for myself because I just want people to know that,
you want to be comfortable. You want it to be yourself. You want to be a true self.
I like yellow shirts. I like carrots and hummus. By the way, I'm bisexual, and whatever. It's just part of who I am. So, but I said that when you come out as an animal rights activist, you're doing that. You are doing it because you want people to save others. The billions of innocent animals all around the planet who are suffering in front of us that you can't see them because they're in giant factories, in the oceans around us who are eating plastic. Like, you are doing this not for yourself. So that's what I was saying.
Okay.
But I did follow up very clearly and very often by saying, but when you do come out, as a member of the LGBTQ. It's great because it also eventually shows afterwards as a secondary thing. It makes people realize that, oh, she came out and she's fine. I can come out too. So it does help others afterwards. But initially, you're doing it for yourself. Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
I get it. You know what? It must be, think about this for a second. Imagine those who come out as LGBT and vegan at the same time. Imagine that for like some. I mean, I guess. I mean, I don't even know. Like, I would assume that in today's world that a lot of families would be more knowledgeable on these things and more comfortable. But I think I'd probably be wrong, right? If I assumed that. I'd say there are probably a lot of people who are finding it tough to do one or the other or both. I mean, can you imagine doing both? Like, seriously, can you imagine that?
Well, you know, there's a joke. Yeah, like I see this. I've seen this on TikTok where I tell people, you know, you should be nice to your kids if they're vegan, whatever, and they duet me, and the video they make is of them taking their kid's school bag, putting it outdoors. They joke around. They grab their kid by the coat and they throw their kid out. Like, they got their kid involved in this skit. To show that if their kid came out as vegan, they would throw them out of the house.
Oh,
okay. Right, and like I said, I've had teenagers tell me that they cannot be vegan in their house because their dad got so angry or the mom got so angry that they forced them to sit at the table and eat meat and said, if you don't finish your steak, you're basically, you can't go to bed. You're not going to, you know, we're taking away your iPad. Like, you have to. Like, this is pure child abuse. And this is how I came out with this. This is why I started to realize that vegan phobia is real. It's wrong. And it is just as bad as racism and homophobia, because children are being traumatized. Teenagers are being beaten up. They're being kicked out of their houses. They are scared at school because people make fun of them constantly. And it's actually in some ways worse, because right now we have social training in schools that tell us, don't be mean to Black people. Don't be mean to Hispanics. Don't be mean to gay people. And if you are, you're going to the principal's office and we're going to send you home. But if you want to be mean to a person who's vegan, you want to take your steak or your whatever from your sandwich, your, like, you know, salami, and wave it in their face and throw it at them. Or when they're in the washroom, slip it into their sandwich and they accidentally eat it. No big deal. It's just, you know, a little bit of bullying. It's just a teeny bit of bullying. That's what they see.
It's laughed off.
It's terrible because it is worse, because they are so traumatized. They're literally surrounded by dead bodies all the time.
Yeah. The thing is now is, you know, it's laughed at. It's not taken seriously by many at the moment, because we're still in the beginnings of a movement with this. It's not like it's established. It's not like animal rights activism and veganism and vegans have been, you know, this well-established group that has been a huge group of individuals around the world for like 50 years. It's which it has been established, but it's not been in the forefront. We've not had the masses that we have now, the people that we have now. So I guess it's still at that point where it's not being taken seriously, just the same as, you know, someone being mean to somebody else because of, I don't know, their color of their skin or their sexual orientation or their, I don't know, preference, anything. Like, these things now, these are big no-nos, and the kids are taught no, you don't be mean. You shouldn't be mean to people because of these things. But when it comes to veganism, it's not being taught because it's not established, I suppose. And that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to establish this. You're saying, hey, look, you know, people shouldn't be bullied because they don't want to hurt animals. It's crazy that they should be bullied for that, and they shouldn't be forced to eat or have meat thrown at them and pieces of animal thrown at them just because they don't want to. It's insane. It's insane. It really is insane. And it's what's more insane is how, again, people don't take it seriously. I don't understand how you think that, like, you know, not taking this seriously is going to help the people who are being affected by it, like especially young people who aren't quite as strong as, like, you know, people like you or me, for example, who have been doing this for a long time, or we're old enough to know that people do what they do and that's the way it is. But kids, teenagers, you know, it's different. You're not completely ready for that as a teenager or a kid, are you? Most of the time, right? You're very vulnerable. You shouldn't have to put up with this shit, or you should, but there should be consequences. That's the point. Like,
and support.
You should be able to. I mean, we all take shit. You can't have a life with no shit. You're gonna get offended. You're gonna get hurt. But there should be consequences for it. There should be social consequences for people doing that to other people. And you grow and become stronger, and they should get in trouble. You know, there should be some kind of reaction. There should be a response, but currently it's you're the response, I suppose. Really, you know, or the vegan movement, but it should be coming from general society too. Like teachers and parents should be more strict and more strong on these things, I think.
Yeah.
With their kids, you know, who are doing this shit.
Yeah, exactly. So what are your plans for the future? Do you have any videos up your sleeve that are coming down the line? Or are you interviewing somebody else, or how are things?
I'd love to interview some people, but I can't obviously for a while. But I do have a good interview coming up once my restrictions are lifted. I'm going to be interviewing a vegan family with a vegan baby, and they take their vegan baby to vegan activism events. They take their baby outside of slaughterhouses to protest, which is pretty interesting. I'm excited to get into this with them and ask them, like, you know, questions about that. It's gonna be very interesting. Find out what's going on. And I've got an interview with an activist who's living out in the States. We're gonna do a cool interview, talk about vigils, talk about the same topic really, going to slaughterhouses and the kind of work you can do there. And yeah, I've got some other plans. I've got some other things planned.
That's great. Thank you so much to Paradigm Shift Here Music and everybody else who's been contributing.
Paradigm Shift Music's contributed loads.
I'm so sorry that if I can't acknowledge everybody, I just don't want to constantly interrupt David, or I know I'm babbling a lot too, but thank you so much. Thank you.
Don't worry about that.
I really do appreciate that. Yeah, there's a lot of crazy comments here. Somebody said that, what does this say? I really hope most kids' parents are supportive. My parents teaching me to be vegan all my life makes me know the awful stuff they do in the slaughterhouses. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Someone else just says hi. Sir Chocolate Milk. Make sure it's vegan chocolate milk. Yeah. All right. Yeah. I'm. What else have we got here? People are putting all kinds of things up. I'm really sad and disappointed we face so much ridicule. Yeah.
Do you know, I wanted to talk to you about something actually. See if you this might help. I mean, we can probably close on this if you want to. If you're looking to close, if you're looking to finish soon. We have been doing it for an hour. This would be a nice point to close up on. So I listened to something today. I don't know if you know Sam Harris, the
of course, yeah.
So I listened to something today, and it really applied to you specifically because of how much shit you get in these comments, right? And it was a really interesting thought. So Sam Harris believes that none of us have. This is intense, by the way, guys. Get ready. Just give you a warning. All right.
Tell people who Sam Harris is.
It's about to get deep. So Sam Harris is like an intellectual.
A YouTuber. Yeah.
Well, he's an intellectual. He does a lot of stuff. Does podcasts, does YouTube. He does speeches. He's a neuroscientist who's also heavily involved in like psychology, behavior.
But he eats animals.
Yeah, that's something.
Because even the smartest people.
We need to, yeah. It's insane. It's insane.
Well, anyway,
that's a whole other topic. But this point that he made is very applicable to what we're doing, and especially when people give a shit. And he talks about how we don't have free will. Like, nobody has free will. Every single thing that we do has been influenced by something else. So there is no actual choice that you can make that you made. You didn't. You make every single choice you make because of influence, whether it be from the marketing, whether it be from your parents, whether it be from that vegan teacher. Everything is influenced. So none of them are actually your choice. So the same way that if a bear, like an actual like grizzly bear, attacked you, you wouldn't hold hatred for that bear. You wouldn't try to hunt that bear down after they attacked you.
Exactly.
Right? You would just
because you would think it's in their nature. It's the way they are.
Right.
Or
exactly.
And so we don't really have free will.
Exactly. They don't have free will. They only operate from what they're doing. From what they do. They're a bear. That's why they did it. Right? They might cut your hand off. They might eat your hand. You're not going to seek vengeance. You're not going to get upset. Well, you get upset about it, but not at the bear. The bear is gone now, right? But when people do these kinds of things, if a human walked into your house and cut your hand off, you would want to get them. You would want them to go to prison. You would want them to, suffer, right? You would want to get
hold
them
on
back.
a sec. So what's your point exactly?
The point
because this is basically letting everyone off the hook.
No, it isn't. Because you'll do everything you can to stop that from happening, right?
Yeah.
So you'll get that person and put them in prison, but to stop it from happening again, not because you want vengeance, but because you want to stop them from hurting other people. That's the difference, right? Like maybe with the bear, you might get the bear and put them in a cage because they're dangerous and they hurt people.
Take them off to another, ship them off to a forest far away.
Whatever it is, right? I don't agree with putting them in a cage, but the point is you do something so that they can't do that again. They should be away from people, right? The same way that when someone comes along and gives you shit, spreads lies about you, trolls you, does all these things, well, okay, we'll do whatever we can to make sure that no one's being harmed by their actions, but don't hold vengeance for them. Don't try to get revenge, because they just do what they do because they do it. Just like the bear does it. These people are, some of them are sick, right? And they do what they do because of that.
Right.
We need to try and act like, okay, I don't hate you, but I will try and counteract what you have done, and I'll try to stop it. But I don't hate you, because what's the point? I don't hate the bear because the bear does what the bear does. I don't hate you because you're doing what you do.
So hate the sin,
you know what I mean?
Love the sin, or hate the sin, kind of thing.
Not love, be indifferent. I'd say be indifferent. I don't love the sinner, but I would say I'm indifferent to you. It's you're acting in the way that you act because you are you. It's not your fault. It's not like you choose to do it. You just do it because you are you. I will do what I can to make sure you don't hurt anyone, and make sure that you don't hurt me with lies, and But aside from that, there's no hate. There's no, I don't seek vengeance against you. I don't want to see you tortured and punished.
Yeah.
I just want to see it stopped.
Yeah. And that's, when I talk about these people that I say, I look down in my toilet and that reminds me of them, it's because they're just doing this, just making it so much worse right now for the animals. And when I say that, I hope that they die in their sleep, that is because they are literally promoting the murder of these innocent animals, the rape, the torture, the confinement. And they are not just doing it on their own in their own homes. They are in front of millions and millions, like Gordon Ramsay, in front of 50 million people, basically in the face of a vegan teacher playing her ukulele and saying, hey, can you please stop hurting animals? And he just eats a burger, and his juvenile 10-year-old humor is seen by so many who say, oh my God, you're so funny. And, his reaction was very predictable. But why did I do it, you might say? Why did I put myself out there to be so vulnerable and play my ukulele knowing damn well he was going to pummel me? He was going to smash me. Because you know why? Because I'm naive. I am hopeful to a negative degree. Like I always think, maybe I know he's been eating animals for 30 years, and I know that people have tried to get him vegan, and but maybe he's at 99 clicks, and he just needs that little. So I tried to say, look, what do you want your legacy to be? When you really did find out about how the animals were treated, why didn't you change? Or maybe, and what is his legacy going to be when he dies? I tell you, if I was there giving the speech at his funeral when he dies, I will say, this guy made the world a worse place. Everybody thinks that they learned how to cook from him, but they didn't. They learned how to murder. They learned how to pay for murder, how to pay into a system of murder. This guy made the world a worse place. I don't care how blonde and how blue-eyed and how funny he is. There's nothing funny about what he's doing.
First off, I don't think you'll get invited to his funeral, so I wouldn't worry about that.
I'll crash it, damn it! You watch me. When I find out he dies, I'm on the first plane.
I totally understand. And you know what? I saw a post about him today that reminded me just of how much he is a sick fuck. Like there was a documentary or whatever.
I'm sorry, I'm just gonna write that down. David Rand. He is a sick fuck.
He's a sick fuck.
He's a sick fuck. Okay. So so you agree with me that he is just over the top, rude, cruel, and just messed up.
Well, I was unsure because at the end of the day, first of all, I thought okay, well, he's just like everyone else, isn't he? Everyone's doing this stuff, right? But then I realized that no, there is some stuff he's done. Like for example, he went to a farm on TV. He went to a farm and killed a baby lamb. Skinned them and everything himself but on a TV show. So the dude is not just other people. You can kind of. It's not justifiable what other people do, right? It's not justifiable.
But when you can, it's like
he went and did it with
you
his
do
hands.
It with your bare hands and you choke the life out of somebody.
Right. Yeah, at that moment, you should realize that. Wait a minute. This is fucked up. I shouldn't.
Okay, so reason number 2, is that. Although, there's a slight hope that maybe he'll change, or that, maybe that, but the main thing is that I wanted to reach the people around him. And this is when I went to my bed and put the cover over my head and cried, because I thought that I made it worse for everybody. But then, like I said, there are some people around who looked at him. I find it's people that are vulnerable in their life. Let's say somebody whose life's going well and they're watching that thing on TikTok and they're watching, him make fun of me. They're like, oh, it's funny. But if you're in a place in your life where, things aren't so well, like you've maybe, I don't know, you're feeling a bit lonely or you're feeling a bit down and you're watching this, you see it in a different light. Suddenly you see him as a complete bully and you relate to that vegan teacher who's just innocently playing her ukulele and saying, please stop hurting animals. And then, so it's those people who are tippable because they're open to empathy and they're, and that's who my audience really was.
I understand. The thing is with him and people like him that I get a bit conflicted sometimes because on one side, when he's not talking about these topics and he's not bullying people, I find him to be, I'll be honest with you, I kind of find him a little bit funny sometimes. I find he's quite witty, he's kind of funny. I like his humor. I like his no bullshit approach. But when he takes that no bullshit funny approach and applies it to abusing others and abusing the completely weak and defenseless, which are the non-human with the animals, then I hate it. I'm like, dude, why? He seems like a smart guy. He seems like he's got a lot of wit. He seems like quite a funny, kind of like he'd be a cool guy to hang out with, really. He seems like he's all, but then he uses that and applies it and tries to, and abuses animals with it. And I just can't, I get split with, this happens a lot with me with different personalities on YouTube and stuff. And I'll watch someone's video. I'm like, this is awesome. Yeah. And then they'll make a video about vegans and just use that same fun and wit that they had to shit on people. And the other video was like, funny and it was about interesting shit, and this one is just them being horrible and trying to justify animal abuse, and you're like, how do you go from that to that? Why are you using your skills and your talents to do that? It's just really disappointing.
It is.
That's the word I think I'm looking for. Disappointing.
Very disappointing. Yeah. And he also has a daughter named Tilly who is also I'm just trying to read here what's going on. There's all kinds of comments here. If it's a real thing, I get beat up. Yeah, it's insane how people judge me. I don't know how old. What is middle school? Is that?
I have no idea. That's American talk, I think.
Okay, I think it's
more
six, I think it's 6, 7, and 8, something like that.
Really?
So yeah, veganphobia is real. I get beat up for being vegan in middle school. It's insane how people judge me on doing the right thing. I hope one day we'll open our eyes and do the right thing. Yeah. And I want to write a book about this subject, 2 books actually, about veganphobia. And one of them is for children, and I want to have like a picture book where for example, on the left side of the page, it will be, so if anybody here knows how to draw, if you're an artist and you want to help me with this book and be the illustrator, that would be cool. I want to write, like on one side of the page here, the what you should not do and what you should do. So basically veganphobia and like somebody who's vegan fantastic. Somebody who's vegan phobic will do, there's a picture of somebody, let's say, like I said, waving at school, a piece of salami in someone's face. And then in the other one, it's somebody who's saying, hey, don't do that. That's vegan phobic. Like, don't be mean to the vegan. And then that person is being vegan fantastic, which is a word that I invented, which is like with a PH, vegan phobia, vegan fantastic. And it's basically saying, even if you're not vegan, you can be a vegan ally. And that's somebody who's, you don't have to be gay to stick up for gay people. You can still notice bullying and you can say, hey, that's not cool. Like, don't be mean to David at his workplace just because he's vegan, right? Or to you, whoever, to Aoi. So Aoi, thank you for your comment. And I'm so sorry that this is happening to you. And if anybody is reading this, there's 216 people watching. If anybody is on the verge and not getting it into your head, look at this, look at what this person is going through. Like, open your heart and be kind. Okay, so somebody, I just got a note here. That vegan teacher France wants to help draw. That's great. Contact me on, so I'm missing some of these. Contact me on Instagram. My Instagram is that vegan teacher Miss Katie, all one word. And Katie is spelled Kadie. Maybe I'll write it in here in the comment. So if anybody, so that vegan teacher Miss Katie. That is my Instagram. If anybody wants to add me there or ask me a question, I can usually be reached there. So David, I want to thank you so much for chatting today. I don't know if you want to add anything else to our guests here, say anything, closing comments.
I would just say that if you are watching and you're a vegan and you're in the comments, thank you for coming in and getting involved in the comments and counteracting some of the nonsense in there. And if you want to come to my videos and do the same thing, I'd really appreciate it. I'm finding it hard. Not as hard as Miss Katie, but I'm finding it hard to keep up with the comments. So if you want to come over and help me respond to some comments, I'd really appreciate it. It's just David Rams, like it is if you, well, David Rams. David RAMMS. Yes, exactly. So yeah, come over and help out, and I'll do my best to also get back to you in the comments and stuff.
Yeah, there's a link in the description for David's. Just go in the description. There'll be a link to David's account, and awesome. I love talking to you, David. I would be happy to do this once a week, for half an hour, or if anybody else wants to talk with me like this, who's an ethical vegan. You want to talk about your journey, how you became vegan. You want to talk about what's going on in your community. David, in closing, is there anything going on where you're living just in a physical place right now? Because I know here in Montreal, people have started to protest Rudsack and Canada Goose. And, there's still some physical stuff going on because people miss each other. They like that camaraderie of protesting together, not just online.
As far as I can see, I don't think so. We are keeping an eye on it and seeing what's happening close by. But the city
the Cube of Truth there.
No, the city that we're close. No, that's a whole other discussion. But the city that we're close to doesn't have anything going on right now because Finland is just starting to get scared of the whole pandemic now. So it's kind of behind everywhere else. They're just starting to get a bit freaked out about it and talking about mandatory masks and things like that. So I don't think there's going to be much protesting going on. The only protesting that seems to be going on is anti-lockdown, anti-mask protesting. So currently there's no vegan stuff going on, and I think it's quite difficult to get it going, unfortunately. So I'm just focusing on the online work right now and taking this opportunity, seeing it as an opportunity to sit down and learn some new skills, video editing, and put together some ideas and try and do it that way.
That's so great. Now you got me really curious about. I mentioned the Cube of Truth. For those of you who don't know, there's an organization called Anonymous for the Voiceless. Yeah. And do you want to talk a little bit about that, David, and what it is, and maybe what you're hinting towards?
Well, Anonymous for the Voiceless is a group where they go out, they have laptops, and they show images from animal agriculture on these laptops. These are images that are from standard practice. I don't know why I'm doing that. Standard practice places. They are not cruelty. This is where this counts. Not cruelty, as in it's not animal cruelty according to the law. It's just the way
it happens across the board. Exactly. You're showing the truth on a TV screen in front of you, and you're wearing a mask.
They wear a Guy Fawkes mask, which is this white mask, and the idea is that it takes the attention away from the person, right? So it's just a mask. It could be anyone, and it allows the member of the public who's watching to not feel like they're being judged by somebody, holding the laptop, because you can't really see their facial expressions, which really helps. And then there's another team, and then they talk to the people that stop without a mask, obviously. And we try to encourage them to think about what they're watching and think about what they're paying for and stop paying for it and go vegan. This is it's a big organization. They're all over the world, and there are many other groups that do the exact same thing but under different names. Unfortunately, though, a lot of the some of the groups, including the ones that are here in Finland, long story short, they had disagreements with the organization. It led to a lot of them stopping doing the activism, which isn't great because a lot of them didn't actually replace the activism with new activism, which really sucks. But the actual format that I've just mentioned to you, where you go out with the laptop and the mask, and it doesn't matter if you're doing it with an organization or just doing it with some friends and just doing it yourself.
Because it used to be called the Earthlings Experience, and you had
still go there. That organization's still going. They're still doing it. You don't need an organization. Just get out there. You don't even need a mask. Just get out there with a laptop, stand in the street, and people come over. What's this? And just say, "Oh, this is animal agriculture. Watch it." And then just talk
and
to
I've
them,
seen also you can just put a little table there and put the screen on beside the table, so you can be free. You can do it by yourself if you want to, and you just put a sign there that says, "This is what really goes on. Come closer to see why I'm here," or "This is why I'm vegan," and just let people see. And if you don't even want to talk, honestly, you can just go and walk away and just sit in a chair and let the computer speak for itself, because people will come up. I know for myself personally, if there's a human there, I actually tend to not go closer because I'm just like, oh, I don't want to talk to this person. Like it feels like a bit of a sales pitch, like a religious freak, you know, like I'm just like that. But if I see a screen by itself and somebody's further away, I would probably walk up and go, hey, what's all this about? And I would sit and I would listen more. That's just me personally. But yeah, so anybody can do it.
Definitely.
It's great.
Definitely.
And
it's very easy. It's very easy, a very easy way to get a message out, and it's easy and it's powerful. That's what's really good about it.
And you don't even have to talk. You could just have little pamphlets that say take one and follow up, and then you don't have to have the stress of the conversation and of the negativity. And it's so, as a vegan, if you know, sometimes it's just hard to have the same conversations over and over and over and over and over, because you just repeat yourself, and you know, you feel like you're banging your head into a wall.
Yeah, for sure.
But you know, thank you so much for being here. Thank you everybody who donated. Thank you everybody who has signed up for my channel, That Vegan Teacher. Please press the subscribe button and the little bell, and also immediately go over to David, who's doing amazing work. He has such great videos. Please support him. And yeah, hopefully he and I will do some more of these in the future.
Yeah, hope so. Definitely we can do more of them, especially when I can stream again. We'll do them on my channel as well. So hope to see everyone over there and also here and everywhere. Subscribe to all the vegan channels.
Yeah, great. Thank you so much. I got my little subscribe button. Hold on one second. I want to just say a couple of things. There's a vegan teacher who has a book. If you're interested, if you have kids, you can order this book by a vegan teacher. Her name is Ruth Greenwood. It's a chapter book. There's that. I don't know if anybody follows Gary Francione, but if you are interested in learning a little bit more about the ethics, about this is kind of how I feel. It's basically complete animal liberation, no baby steps. And if you're a teacher, I just recently got this book, which is Vegucated, an educator's guide for vegan inclusive teaching by Laura Chepner. So these are just a few books I have recently. And just to plug the new video, Seaspiracy, which is a new documentary like Cowspiracy, but about the oceans. And it's so important that we know what's going on, because without the oceans, it's not happening. We are all dying.
Open Netflix. This you've got today, the weekend, right? You got some time free. Open Netflix. Type in the word sea, and Seaspiracy will be the first documentary that comes up. Watch it, and it will blow your fucking mind. Okay, watch it.
David, what did you get out of it? Tell a couple of the top 3 points that made you go, oh shit.
I don't want to ruin it for people, because the craziest stuff in it is near the end, and I don't want people to watch it and know what's coming. Honestly, just the fact that I'm telling you, I've seen documentaries, I've seen some of the most shocking things in real life, right? I've seen shit in real life, and this documentary was as shocking as some of the things I've seen myself in person. Put it that way. All right, it surprised me. Things that I never even knew, and I've been vegan for a long time. So even if you're a vegan, watch this documentary, and if you're not a vegan, wow, you're going to get your mind absolutely blown by this documentary. Seriously, it's intense. It's only 1 hour 30 minutes too. It's not even that long, but trust me, you'll finish it and you'll be like, oh my god, like I knew none of that. It's insane.
So I'm going to watch the comments, and I'm going to see who was listening. Who is the first person who's going to write the name of the documentary that David just said? What is the documentary that you should be watching? Write it in the comments. It starts with the letter S. What is it? Let's see if anybody was paying attention. You know, I'm a teacher, and the only way to check if we're learning is to see if anybody's actually listening. If we don't see it soon, we're going to repeat it until they get it.
See, let's
see. You see it. Okay, Trey Vegan says Seaspiracy. I see that. Yeah, Anton Constant. Very good. Guys, you're listening. Yes, other people. Oh my God, lots of you. Thank you so much for listening. Please watch Seaspiracy. David highly recommends it. I have not watched it yet because I don't want to cry. I've asked people to explain everything that happens. I've got a whole bunch of statistics. I know what happens at the end. I will force myself to watch it, but I'll be like this, okay, under the blankets, and I'll probably have the volume down because the music, like, it affects me. I won't lie. I am suffering from dystopia, the anguish of being vegan in a non-vegan world. I have exposed myself to so many documentaries that I actually can't not cry, and it's very debilitating. So I will watch it. I will force myself to watch it, but I will do it from a teacher's point of view, like more, like just, okay, let me get the statistics, and I'll detach myself, because if I watch it like this, I'll be devastated. I know.
I think there's only, in my opinion, there's one scene that will probably make most people get at least close to crying, and it's near the end of the movie. All right, so the most of the movie's not designed to make you upset. Most of the movie's designed to make you, right? But right near the end, there is something near the end that is, that you'll see. That's the bit that will catch you.
I heard about it, so I know what it is. At least I'm the kind of person who, if there's a movie, I'll always say, okay, tell me what it's all about. Tell me how it ends. I want to know in advance. I'm not one of these people who needs a shock. I'll watch it. Just be psyched for it, Anyways, okay. Thank you so much, David. Thank you, everybody who's here. Thank you, everybody, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now. Bye. Thank you so much.